officially joined by the man that I call the OG of Chiefs Kingdom, a man that represents this the Chiefs fan base better than I think anybody in the world does. A good personal friend of mine, a man that I always look to and seek counsel with when it comes to anything Chiefs related, life related too. This guy's been through a lot, and he knows the world better than anyone I know. I want to give it up to our guy, Mr. Shaggyshane Williams. How we doing, Shaggyshane?
I can't be any better sitting amongst these three gentlemen, Lance Twidwell, Trevor Twidwell, and Eddie Ortiz on Thanksgiving weekend.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Kansas City Chiefs freaks worldwide of all ages, it's an honor to be back on Zoom with my boys 4 weeks later. Here I am. Let's do this, brothers.
Let's do it. So, Shane, this is where I started the show. I recapped on the Chiefs-Cowboys game. I talked about how, despite the offensive struggles through all four quarters, we saw a defense that can win this team games. And that's why I'm excited about the Chiefs' offensive struggles, because they didn't need Patrick Mahomes to put on the cape in order for them to win a game at this magnitude. We knew this was a big game coming into last week. Regardless of what Cowboys were injured, regardless of who they were missing, nobody thought the Chiefs were going to hold them to 9 points, and they did just that. They held Dak Prescott out of the end zone, picked him off multiple times, strip sacked as I predicted before last week. I think this defense is for real. That's without question. But now they are a defense that I put my faith in that can and will win games if and when Patrick Mahomes in the offense isn't perfect, isn't great, or even isn't good. What was your takeaway from that Cowboys game last week?
The takeaway from that game was the defense is great. But I need to say this because the common knock, the common theme of the Chiefs fan base, and Chiefs Kingdom, and I'm not slamming the freaking Kingdom. Chiefs Kingdom is the best when it comes to NFL fan bases. There's no better fan base than Chiefs Kingdom. The common freaking thing everybody wants to say is, while Patrick Mahomes is struggling, while this offense is in a funk, while this offense is not doing well, while Patrick is not playing good, while Patrick is not doing this, while Patrick is not doing that, Patrick Mahomes has carried this team for 3 full seasons. We've only had 2 quarterbacks previously in the entire franchise history who have taken the Chiefs to AFC championship games. Lynn Dawson and Joe Montana. Patrick Mahomes has taken his team to 3 straight AFC championship games, an AFC championship game, and 2 Super Bowls. Now is the time where he can't keep carrying the team. He can still be great. We have seen it in earlier days. When I was in 5th and 6th grade in 1980 and 1981, when the San Diego Chargers were unstoppable, Dan Fouts, a Hall of Fame quarterback in Canton, took the Chargers to 2 straight AFC championship games against the Raiders and the Bengals. But after that, that window closed. The Los Angeles St. Louis Rams from 1999 through 2001. He was epic. Kurt Warner and that offense was freaking unstoppable. What happened the 4th season? That freaking window was closed. Patrick Mahomes, I am not going to ever say his window was closed because the kid just turned 26. This is his 4th year in the league. Defenses are doing their best way to slow him down, but to say that there is a problem with him is, in my opinion, unfair. About the defense is freaking coming into its own because of the addition of Melvin Ingram. Melvin Ingram, since Brett Veach swallowed his pride, and as I said on my last 2 Shaggyshane shows, and made the trade for Melvin Ingram, Spags has been able to put Chris Jones back at defensive tackle where he shined. He's been able to move Frank Clark up and down the defensive line. Not to mention Charvarius Ward and L'Jarius Sneed are playing lights out at cornerback. And if you look at Pro Football Focus tweet 30 minutes ago that I just retweeted, freaking Rashad Fenton is rated number 2 in NFL right now behind Jalen Ramsey. So these cornerbacks are looking great. And to compare what the Chiefs defense has done the 3 years, this reminds me of the 1990s when our defense was elite. And sometimes our offense was unable to move the ball with Christian Okoye or Marcus Allen. This defense is freaking playing at an elite level because of the addition of Melvin Ingram and because of the cornerbacks. That interception by Charvarius Ward was huge last week. That looked like Dale Carter in his prime, daddy. Going up one-on-one coverage, it was Charvarius Island, because when that ball was in the air, when it was coming down to CeeDee Lamb, we all thought, oh gosh, please don't fall over CeeDee Lamb and cause a pass interference. we thought the worst. But when freaking Charvarius Ward used his athletic ability, went up and made that interception, we knew we had a cornerback. And Snead's been a beast. And like I said, Fenton, this defense is playing at a high level. And they're going to need to continue to do it the last 6 games of this season. Am I thrilled about the defense? Hell yeah, we all are. But in my opinion, let's not slam Patrick. You may think, oh, hold on, Shaggy. It's easy for you to say you love Patrick so much since he was coming out of Tech. My point is, no, I've been critical of Patrick Mahomes some this season, but I cringe at the fact that, man, Mahomes isn't Mahomes. Well, it's because he raised the bar so damn high. So let's take it easy on the knock and the criticism of number 15.
When it comes to raising the bar and expectations, there's also a player on the defensive side that I want to talk about real quick as well. It's the highest paid player on this team, and it's Frank Clark. And there is a wide range of opinions and emotions that are expressed towards Frank Clark and about Frank Clark in Chiefs Kingdom, if you will. And I think the biggest reason is because you see these pockets of time where Frank Clark looks like this guy that's worth the money he's making, which is $1.4 million per game. And then you'll hear nothing from him for 4 or 5 weeks at a time. And it's very frustrating because I think it's a lot of effort-based material that he's giving us. Where if he's give a crap Clark, he looks like a guy that's unstoppable and this defense looks unstoppable. But when he's milk carton Clark, then it's a guy that is literally just killing this defense and sapping any energy that they have, and you see that across the board. Now, Melvin Ingram has helped out big time, but what are you seeing from Frank Clark that you're really admiring or that you're liking, and do you think that this is going to be sustainable for the rest of the season, or is this just one of those small pockets of time where he gives a crap Clark?
Man, Lance, you love talking about Frank Clark, don't you?
He makes a lot of money, man.
He is the reason the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl in 2019. You know it, and I know it. If Brett Veach doesn't make that trade for Frank Clark, we don't win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, because he would have had to give that money to D Ford. And where in the hell is D Ford?
He's offside somewhere.
Right. Specifically to this season and to that specific question, Frank Clark is in one-on-one. He's since, and we're only going to freaking talk about this month, because 4 weeks ago when I was on this show with you, it was rock bottom. It was peaks and valleys of the season, and we were deep in the valley. Tyrann Mathieu was attacking Harold Kuntz and Chiefs fans on social media. Look where we've come in this 4 weeks. And to answer your question about Frank Clark, in the last 4 weeks, with the addition of Melvin Ingram since the Packers game, he's been one-on-one. Spags has had him on the left. He's had him on the right. He's had him on the middle. He's been able to show blitzes. And Frank Clark's playing hungry. I like Frank Clark. I've always been a fan of his. I don't know what's going to happen to him next year. Obviously, if the Chiefs sign him, it's going to have to be cheaper, but we will evaluate that in March. But right now, I love Frank Clark. Who couldn't love Frank Clark? The guy's hungry. The guy has got Melvin Ingram and Chris Jones and freaking Jerron Reed by him, playing on creating matchups for the opposing offensive line. And Melvin Ingram's done a lot for Jerron Reed. Even Eddie just said before I came on, he said, we're seeing a lot from Jerron Reed the last couple of weeks. It's because of Melvin Ingram. And people may think, well, is it because of Terrell Suggs kind of addition? No, I think Melvin Ingram brings more than Terrell Suggs, even though that was a good addition. But to specifically answer that question, I love Frank Clark. He's playing at a high level. Did I think he had an early bad part of the season? Yeah, but he was dealing with an injury, which he always seems to. It's kind of like, hey, if you sign Frank Clark to your team, the first couple months he's going to be dealing with this, that, and the other, but the last couple months he's going to be showing what he can do.
Couple more questions for you here, Shaggy. You've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not talking about being an entertainer to Chiefs fans abroad. I'm talking about you've been watching this team. You've been dedicated to this team for many, many years now. You've seen a lot of bye weeks. Now, we know how successful this team has been under Andy Reid and under his tutelage over the last 8-9 years after bye weeks. So I'm anticipating the Chiefs are going to maintain their success that they've been building over the last 4 weeks under Andy Reid after this bye week. But you as a fan, tap into that a little bit. How do you handle the bye week? What do you take away from the first portion of the season, and what are you expecting in the second portion of the season as a fan of this team for the last 30 years?
Well, let's take a little trip down memory lane, shall we? We shall. 30 30 years ago when the NFL implemented the bye week. Do you remember November 1st, 1991? I think, Lance, you were 3, Trevor was 1. So I'm going to think you guys probably don't remember. I don't know how old Eddie was 30 years ago. But on
born.
November, you were what?
I wasn't born.
He's a twinkle in the eye.
The NFL on November 1st, 1991 had a bye where every single team did not play. There was no football. So you kind of looked at it like, man, there's no football this week at all. So they realized their mistake. And in 1992, they spread out the bye weeks how we do it now. But in 1993, the NFL had every team have 2 bye weeks. So by having every team have 2 bye weeks, there was no second week. There was no bye week for the Super Bowl. So the Chiefs had a bye like week 4 and a bye week 7. And we were happy about having 2 byes that early because Joe Montana was on one of his last legs. But specifically, how do I celebrate the byes? I celebrate it by just chilling with the family. And about the Chiefs, because nobody wants to hear about me. They want to hear about the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will respond from the bye. They always have. Andy Reid's had a good record coming out of the bye, except 4 years ago when he had to go play Dallas with Alex Smith. But we're not talking about that. For the most part, coming out of the bye, Andy Reid has his team prepared. I like the fact that we're coming out of the bye playing against Denver. I will be at that game, Sunday Night Football, so watch Shaggyshane post from there. But this bye, I think, is important because of the injuries and the nicks and we've been suffering from. Tyreek Hill has been kind of slow on some injuries. You can see when he's coming up sometimes he's kind of dinged up. Kelsey has been biting his lip on some plays because you can tell he's injured, but it hasn't been known. It hasn't been like you never see Travis Kelsey on the sidelines going, I'm hurt. But you can tell a lot of people that are watching football, something isn't right with Kelsey. So I think this bye comes at a right time, and I can't wait to come out of this bye in style, baby, and freaking address the West by another division championship.
Couple more questions for you here, Shaggy, and we're going to let you out of here. And we appreciate your time as always, man. We really do. Because I actually resent the statement that you said that nobody cares about you. Trust me, we care about you, and everybody out there in Chiefs Kingdom cares about you, bro. Trust me, you're a very well accepted and loved man around these parts. But
thank you.
You're welcome, man. Of course. The least I could do. When it comes to the AFC, I think it's now, at least in my opinion, maybe you disagree, but I don't think you're going to because I know you well enough. I think that the Chiefs now are back to the top when it comes to who the favorite out of the AFC currently is. And it's a long season. 5 weeks ago, we thought it was the Bills. Now it's the Chiefs again, in my eyes. But if you do agree with that, if you do agree that the Chiefs are now currently atop the AFC, we have to ask the question because this conference as a whole is wide open. There is, outside of the Chiefs, in my eyes, no true contender. There's just a bunch of teams beating the crap out of themselves, and we'll see how everything shakes down. Who right now currently, though, is the biggest threat to the Chiefs from getting to their 3rd straight Super Bowl?
Baltimore Ravens. And it's because they find a way to win. They consistently find a way to win late when they're down, regardless of who's playing quarterback, regardless of who's the running back is, regardless of who's even injured for the Baltimore Ravens. They keep making plays when you think they're done. When you think, wow, they lost that game. Here comes Baltimore. 66-yard field goal attempt, week 4 against Detroit. Okay, yeah, and he makes it. Chicago goes up late on them last week, and you think, oh, man, they lost it. There's no way nobody quarterback's going to go down the field and freaking make plays happen. Well, who does he hit? The Lizard King. Sammy Watkins comes out of nowhere. Sammy Watkins hasn't done anything the last 4 weeks. The Bears probably forgot he was on the field. He makes the catch, and then next play they score the game winner. So Baltimore is my biggest fear. They got that stud Owen, the defensive end, I think that's his last name. He forced Clyde Edwards-Helaire to fumble the football.
There's Owe, yeah. Owe is actually the guy that the Chiefs, or they drafted with the first-round pick that they gave for Orlando Brown.
Yeah,
more salt in the wound. That was our pick. But we got Orlando Brown Jr., yada, yada. But it just seems like they have my respect. They have my respect, and I think it's going to be, just my opinion, we stay healthy. Lamar Jackson quits getting ill and getting sick and yada, yada. I think it's going to be the Chiefs at Baltimore for the AFC Championship game, and I would love to see it because we had that game won. In week 2, we had that game won. So I think it's going to be Chiefs and Baltimore. Buffalo, man, what is Buffalo? The team that just beat the Saints and won in Arrowhead, or the team that lost to gosh, the Colts ran up and down on them. So it's hard to tell with Tennessee and Buffalo. You want to say, oh, yeah, it's definitely Tennessee and Buffalo, but they've lost some really bad games. And I know you may think, well, the Chiefs have lost some bad games, but we're talking about other teams now. Baltimore, Tennessee and Buffalo will be in the mix, but I think it's Chiefs and Baltimore that will close out the AFC in late January.
We actually had a question from Stan Simmons, one of our frequent flyers in the Monday mailbag. He asked a question to us, and I wanted to ask it to you. When it comes to a best case scenario or the best storyline, let's say the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl again. Who would you like to see them face the most? Are you looking for a revenge factor? Are you looking for a best matchup factor, storyline, whatever the case is? What team would you like to see the Chiefs face in the Super Bowl if they end up getting there?
That's a good question. And naturally, you don't care when you're there. The LA Rams would be good just because it'd be the second time the Chiefs played a home team in their freaking home team on their field in the Super Bowl. But and this is another thing. Let's talk respect, because I would like to see the Chiefs play Arizona. Nobody gives Arizona Cardinals any respect. Nobody. Everybody's talking about the Rams, Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, everybody but Arizona. But Arizona quietly just beats everybody. Arizona went into L.A. and beat them. They got Colt McCoy as their quarterback now. They tried to get Shane Buechele. Thank God we kept him. They just quietly win every week against good teams playing great football. They went to San Francisco and won. They went to L.A. Rams and won. So I kind of would like it to see Chiefs and Cardinals on your prediction show in 2020. I had it be the Chiefs and Cardinals I added it on the post. They played terrible in preseason, but Cliff Kingsbury and when Kyler Murray's healthy, Hopkins, they're a damn good team that is not getting any love. So let's make it the Chiefs and the Arizona Cardinals in LA this February. Cliff Kingsbury against Patrick. That would be awesome.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs would roll in that game, to be honest with you. I think that'd be a great matchup.
Defense, though, in Arizona, man.
Regardless,
is that Trevor?
I said that's a good defense in Arizona, too.
Yeah. It's just they're a good team, and they just quietly keep winning and shutting opposing offenses down.
Oh, they're legit, without a doubt. 9 wins. I mean,
give me the Chiefs plus -7.5.
No, we got to give them a 20-point lead, and then yeah.
It seems not how it always goes, doesn't it?
Well, that is our guy Shaggyshane. Shaggy, I always allow you to have the platform to say whatever it is you want to say at the very end. Give your little walk-off speech. Give it to us, man. What do you have for the people, and where they can find you on social media?
You can find me on YouTube at Shaggyshane Chiefs. Just go there and we'll dissect everything that's going down. There's a lot of good things going on with Chiefs groups. Check out Chiefs or Die on Facebook. Fidel Blocker's always got things going on. He's always in opposing defenses. He's always in opposing team cities with his crew, bragging up on the Chiefs, talking about how great we are. There's a lot of good things going on with the team. Let's be honest, guys, all of us. And I want to thank Trevor for his comeback after we hung up 4 weeks ago in his defense of Tyrann Mathieu. That was a dark time for this season. And as I was talking to Lance privately this week, how this Chiefs team has been in peaks and valleys. And in my opinion, the valleys wouldn't be so deep if Tyrann Mathieu was not going after the media and the fans. But he had a teary-eyed apology. 2 hours after our show was done. Of course, we all had our opinions. Then 2 hours after our show, Tyrann Mathieu apologized. Did he apologize because of me? No. I'm not that. I'm not that
Maybe.
Delusional. I'm not that delusional. But I'm happy that Tyrann Mathieu did apologize because Chiefs Kingdom loves the dude. We love the guy.
We need him.
It's important that he just stays the leader and doesn't attack fans on social media, because Chiefs Kingdom has his back. Even when we are upset about him missing a tackle, we love Tyrann Mathieu. We love the Chiefs, and let's enjoy this ride the last 6 games, because usually when you're 7-4, you think there's 5 games left. No, we got 6 games left. We got 2 straight against 2 good AFC West division opponents right here at Arrowhead Stadium, back to back Sunday night. I will be there prime time, and I will do my post game there. It's going to be electric just because it is Sunday night football at Arrowhead Stadium. This division is up for the Chiefs to run away with, to take, and the rest of the AFC is ready for the Chiefs. But I believe the Chiefs will be ready for the rest of the AFC. And again, Patrick Mahomes raised this bar so high that it is okay for him to win 19-9. Let's take it easy on the criticism of Patrick. He'll tell you himself he could do better and he could play better. But I love you guys. Have a happy Thanksgiving weekend. Take care, Eddie, Trevor, and Lance. Love you, bro.
Love you, man. Thank you so much as always for being with us, dude. And I'm sure we'll talk more today about what we're doing on this bye week because I'm going to be bored as hell. I mean, we're doing a show here and this is a blast, but man, we don't got any material to really go off of when it comes to a preview. This just feels kind of odd, but the show goes on, and you are one of the most important parts of what we do here at the Spoken Podcast. So thank you so much, Shaggy.
Hey, Ray, real quick, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Who do you real quick question, like tomorrow, Chargers at Denver? Who do you like?
I actually like the Broncos. I actually like the Broncos in this matchup only because of the fact they can run the ball well. They have a decent enough defense to slow down Herbert, and it seems like over the last month Herbert's been really struggling to be consistent at all. So I'm going to actually lean more on the Broncos side, but you can always convince me to go with the Chargers, who clearly have the better quarterback in this matchup.
Who do you like, Trevor and Eddie?
I like the Chargers. I think they're just better offensively. I think they're going to do what the Cowboys were expected to do to them. I think they're going to go out there. I think Mike Williams could have a big game. He's just so much bigger than their corners, and I think Keenan Allen's going to eat up. They can stop Austin Eckler all day, but I think Mike Williams has been clicking too. So him being a big, I think he's 6'6", 6'7" receiver. Their corners just aren't going to be able to handle that if they go 1-on-1. So I think it could be a big game for the Chargers, and I just don't buy the Broncos, so I think that it's a letdown spot for them.
I'm going to go with Broncos on this one. Just being the AFC West kind of game, I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. And I think it's going to come down to maybe a field goal or two. So I'm going to give the Broncos the edge on this one because, like I said, it's an AFC West game.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I love you guys, man. Thanks for having me on, and I'll be back again whenever you guys are ready for me. Maybe in 4 weeks, and we'll talk about the playoffs, or we'll definitely break down what the Chiefs will probably be doing in free agency. I love you guys. Keep up the good work. Go Chiefs.
Love you, bro. Thank you so much, man.